Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we got episode 7 of our beginner to 2K guide, and today we've just actually hit past 1700, and we're playing against an opponent, Lat Lumen. So he's from Mexico with Clan Latino, and he's played around, what is that, 350 games, and he's 1745 currently, so should definitely be a solid 1750 player, definitely the intermediate level that we're talking about here as we're going to these later episodes. So for today, I don't really have a specific topic that I want to, cover in this video. It's really just going to be reading the matchup, trying to play standard and safe, and then trying to just capitalize on any early game mistake that he will make, and then transition to a clean castle age where I can talk about some of the more intermediate ideas, going forward with this guide. All right. So without further ado, let's just hop right into this game. Alright, as usual, the same remedy. We check if we're all good. We are. Good luck, have fun. And let's get right into this. We got random here. And let's see what we can get. So, 1745, huh? This is the elo where players start to know how to do the Dark Age pretty well. And, well, they're pretty solid with the builders up until Castle Age, but I think a lot of mistakes are happening in Castle Age, where there's a lot more things going on, and that's where these kind of players, or this level of players, start to slip up. So definitely, when I'm making this guide, I'm kind of targeting you guys, you 1700s, that, I'm assuming at this point, when watching this guide, you guys can probably execute a Dark Age, to decent level. I said last episode that I think if you're around 1700, you should be able to hit your Dark Ages pretty much near perfect, more than 50% of the time, so definitely more than half. And if you really want to be a solid 1700, I think you need to be like at 60 or 70% solid Dark Age. So Dark Age should not be a problem, especially if the Feudal Age in general. So you guys should be able to scout with cheap at this point. Obviously, if you are following up with the guide at the same elo, which is kind of unreasonable because I'm doing one of these a day, which it takes longer for you guys to climb elo. But if you guys are around 1700, I expect some good Dark Age from you guys. Where you guys take this to, like, kind of fall off is the Castle Age. So when we get to Castle Age, I'm going to talk about some of the things you guys can do to try and help you guys not fall off when there's a lot more things that you could be doing. So there's, a lot more going on in Castle Age, but we'll talk about some of the things you could be doing. So right off the bat, I was just scouting my map, and I noticed that I don't really have a good wood line, so I just take a straggler tree, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the back wood line, because I think it's the best one. I've got my gold near it, so I can protect 2 resources with 1, tower or army, if need be. Alright, so let's get my start. Let's take a look at the matchup here. Koreans for myself versus Berbers. Okay, interesting stuff. Alright, so Koreans, right away we think Tower Rush, right? But honestly, if you guys want to be as consistent as possible with your grind, I would say never open straight Tower Rush. So I'm going to open Men-at-Arms in this case. Men-at-Arms into Archers, and then I might even add some Towers and lay Feudal, depending on how the game plays out. So I'm going to open Men-at-Arms and then adapt based on my opponent. We talked about last time that we can fix our gatherings, our efficiency. There we go. One thing I would recommend is when the board's coming in, do other stuff. So always make the house first and then look to deal with the board coming in. Because if you don't make the house right away and you deal with the board first, you might actually get housed. So definitely keep that in mind. Other than that, build looks pretty good. At this point, I could scout my opponent, but I'm a player that likes to scout my map quite thoroughly. So I'm going to go ahead and scout down here once. And what this will help is that if this cliff leads to the edge of the map, I'm going to find out. It's going to help me figure out where to wall. So again, this is the kind of things that you want to consider in the Dark Age to really get off to a solid start and not have any kind of, uncertainties about your map. Alright, let's identify the next board. It's up here. Alright, so the cliff does not lead to the edge, but I might still be able to use it to wall. We'll see. Okay, so I got some pretty valuable information here. So I can probably wall to this edge. That's probably the best way to do it, and then wall towards my TC. Okay. So still some valuable information from that scouting nonetheless. Let's go scout my opponent now. Alright, so let's start considering. So we know Koreans. We have a plan here. Men-at-Arms into archers into maybe some late towers, or just straight up standard Castle Age play. Now Berbers, what are their options? The most popular opening is scouts with Berbers because they do get the cheaper knights in Castle Age, so generally wanting to open with stable play makes sense. They could also do men-at-arms or archers. They're more or less flexible because they do get a lot of the upgrades in Castle Age. So I definitely have to be mindful of that, scout my opponent properly, and hopefully be able to, you know, determine what he's going to go for. I feel like I'm not too efficient there. Oh, got lucky there. I was looking. We don't want to chase that though. You rarely want to chase your opponent's scout in the Dark Age, unless you have a specific purpose to do so. I actually cannot afford my barracks now because of this inefficient wood. That's no big deal. We can afford it now. Let's go ahead and drop it. Anyway, this is a standard 22 pop feudal age here. It hasn't been the cleanest. I had the boar outside my base. But other than that, it's not been the worst in the world. Okay. Yeah, I will probably do double lumber camp here. Again, I'm not going to scout here because that could be TC territory. Remember, we talked about that. And let's go ahead and pick up Loom, and then I'll pick up right after this. Oh, there we go. And his TC might have actually been there. So let's go back and let's scout. Oh, there's a wood line. Let's scout near that. I don't want to make this mining camp, I guess, like that, right? Go ahead and click up here. It's quite laggy, so I have to keep that in mind when playing. Oh, come on. There we go. Cool. So immediately let's get some militia out, and okay, now I see a cliff. I'm going to scout near the cliff. Try and pinpoint exactly where he is without losing my scout. It's very important. Also, I did scout a barracks. So let's actually go back and check if he's going to go men-at-arms or not. It's very important to do that. As you guys know, scouting is key. Let's just double check here. Make sure we know what's coming our way. Just a barracks. Oh, gold mine. Okay, that's men-at-arms. That is men-at-arms. So now we know what he's going to go for. We know how his map looks like a little bit. Let's continue scouting his map for a little bit longer, and then let's go back to get in position to defend his men-at-arm rush. Alright, I was kind of headed in no man's land there. It looked out though. Okay, now let's go back, because I don't want to venture in there too deep, and I can't really waste more time at his base. So I've found enough information. Let's head back and let's try and fight with our scout and our men-at-arms together. It's very important in men-at-arm fights to keep your scout close by, because you really want to fight with your men-at-arms and have your scout there as well. The 3 men-at-arms for me, pretty standard stuff. Let's fix our economy though. Hasn't been the best this game at all. Alright. And let's actually take a pause here. So the question is now, do I go aggressive with my militia, or do I kind of just sit back and wait till his men-at-arms come in, and then I just, you know, soak up the damage we trade, and that's fine. So when I make this kind of decision, first of all, I'm an aggressive player, and I try to always be the one that's attacking. However, in this particular case, where I've had not the best start, my militia were not that fast out of the barracks, it's probably better to just stay defensive, because I already know he's going to go men-at-arms. So I know they're coming. I'm just going to stay defensive and try to trade them off. If I didn't know he's going to go men-at-arms, I always go forward. Alright, because if he's not going to go men-at-arms and then I just stay back with my men-at-arms, then it's like I wasted my opportunity to attack, and then he's just going to be coming later with a stronger unit like archer or scout. Alright, so definitely keep that in mind when deciding whether to move out or, you know, stay back. Alright.
Yes.
Okay, so I will decide to stay back here. Okay. Gonna get some farms down. So even if I have to idle here a little bit, my TC for the wood upgrade, that's actually fine. A couple seconds won't hurt that much. And I don't know where he's gonna come from, but I know he will be coming. So this is the only time I like to idle my TC in the early game to get this wood upgrade for the men-at-arm build. So it's just a small idle time, nothing too crazy. Alright, now I just gotta be cautious of where he is. So now I'm thinking maybe I should have attacked him, but at the same time I think this is fine because I played it safe, you know. I already saw that he was gonna be investing into men-at-arms. Although now that I think about it, I never saw that he made a men-at-arms. So maybe he's gonna go straight to archers. That would be interesting. Maybe I should double check here. I stayed back, I didn't find him. Maybe I'm gonna move out now. And if he's gonna go straight archers, then I actually made a mistake. then I actually made a mistake. We'll see. Other than that, my build looks really good at home. Let's go see what he's up to. Also, one more thing I want to point out. He's got 3 forward golds. So my late towers, I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. And yeah, it looks like he went straight archers, guys. So to compensate or to adapt here, we're going to go straight into skirmishers now. I can never go archers myself now and catch up. It's too late. I'm simply behind. I made a mistake. Instead of just falling into the trap and making even more mistakes, let's adapt. Let's fix it. I'm going to pull the vills off gold. And I'm going to go straight 1 range skirmishers now. And then a fast blacksmith to make, or a faster blacksmith to make fletching. Alright, so that's my game plan now. I made the mistake with the men-at-arms, I'll admit it. Let's adapt from there though. Alright, so I see 3 on gold. That could tell me, yeah, it could tell me skirmishers actually. Interesting. Oh, he did make men-at-arms. Okay. Okay. So, I guess weird play then. Really weird play. But he's making some skirms, so we will do the same here. We will do the exact same. No big deal. We'll even go double range skirmishers. So this kind of played out in a weird way, but we got to this position just by adapting to each other's playstyle. So he went defensive because he thought I was going to attack him with men-at-arms. I did the same. He transitioned to skirmishers. I did the same. Okay, let's do the same thing we did last time, guys. Let's buy some time. So if you guys saw the episode or yesterday's episode, you guys know that we're buying time. He's not falling for it though. He's going to attack me. Let's take his attention again. And meanwhile, I'm going to get my second range down. I'm going to build up. Alright. That wolf is being annoying for sure. Get that fletching. Alright, now we can fight. I've tried to buy time, he didn't fall for it. I mean, this fight's not amazing, so that's probably a bad decision for me. Oh, again, a couple of mistakes for me. Let's try and buy time. Nope, not working. So he's playing really well here, but I have my scrims to defend, so it shouldn't be too big an idea here, or a problem. Alright, so let's just hit and run here with the skirmishers. Let's bring my men-at-arm in as well. I see those Aoe2 vills. Okay, let's send 3 to gold now as well. So these men-at-arms are giving me a hard time. No more though. Very good. Okay, cool. So we cleared that up. We're going to continue making some skirmishers here. So now let's consider the tower rush. Remember the late fuel tower rush that I was talking about? We're actually going to try and go into it, but we're going to go into it in a weird way. We're going to continue making skirmishers, but we're going to do something different. We're going to add a stable. Alright, so we actually don't need that many on gold here. You know, we can just continue taking the wood. We're going to go ahead and go for a stable. So at this point, I like to go for my horse collar because I might be seeing more farms in feudal age. So let's go for the horse collar. I usually skip out on that, and okay, he's got archers, so he's still falling into a trap, and I'm already going to make a stable switch, and I know my plan. I'm going to go all in feudal, or at least extended feudal, and try and pressure those golds. So let's send 4 vills forward now, right away. Skirms and scouts is the name of the game. I don't need very much gold at all. In fact, I need like almost 0 gold to execute that. Yeah, I need 0 gold from now on. Alright, cool. So now I have my strategy and I have my military buildings in place. It's all about being aggressive and committing to the strategy now. So I'm going with 4 vills, and you guys might be thinking, how did you come up with 4 towers? Well, I'm using Koreans. It's a strength. They have a strength of towers. And then I'm using the map. 3 forward golds. Again, another strength of towers. How he should defend against this is he should do preemptive tower on the gold. Would be fantastic for him. If he doesn't think about it, he can be in trouble. A lot of trouble. Let's see what he's up to here. And again, keeping my economy going at home. And let's just start towering. So I'm going to do my first one very aggressive on the gold. And then after that, I'll start a tower chain that will pretty much never stop. So again, he unfortunately didn't think of the defensive tower. And I would just get in with some skirmishers. Keeping my economy at home decent. And let's move into my scrims now. Again, stable, coming back. Why did I make scouts? I made scouts in case he made scouts. Because I know my skirms counter anything he can make from ranges. Well then, the logical counter to skirms is scouts. So I'm just gonna make scouts myself because that counters or that lets me fight his scouts if he makes them. Alright, so now I control all 3 of his golds. Let's continue towering and maybe even take away his farms. And then now even I can start transitioning to Castle Age. My attack is a success. And I know I said commit to the strategy, but commit until you win. Now that it's won, I can commit harder if I had a Bloodline Scout. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, let's defend with some skirms. Alright, I gotta pause here. I gotta pause. There's too much to talk about. So as I was saying, once the damage on the front is done, once my strategy is completed, I denied the golds, I got what I wanted, I don't actually have to continue committing to it. I could if I wanted to, but that would be a whole other decision. You guys see what I'm talking about here? This is really some intermediate level stuff, decision making in Feudal Age. Alright, so I got what I wanted, I took away his gold. Now I got another problem though. So I've got 2 things going on. I've got my forward that's, obviously slowly rolling forward. Tower chain is starting up, but it's a slow push. But I've got an immediate threat at my base. I've got some range units harassing my villagers. I might actually lose one here on the stone, maybe even 2 if I'm not careful. I'm gonna right away defend with skirms. Alright, skirms, I might have to do a defensive tower as well. That's in my back pocket. And I just want to deal with the threat first and then look to make decisions after I've dealt with it. After I'm safe, I'm gonna then reanalyze the situation and make decisions from there. Alright? Let's definitely go for that. So that's just going through my mind. Right now, my first priority is to defend here at home. Because again, I want to be a guy that's in control of the game by making smart choices. And right now, the smartest choice is to deal with the threat and then push out later with another decision.
Yes.
So I hope he's not too annoyed by the pausing. Okay, he should be fine. So right away, queuing a few skirmishes to defend. Running my villas back. Like I said, might lose 1 or 2. No big deal though. I've got my scouts here. I will keep them here. And let's continue tower chaining. So my strategy will continue here. I just won't invest too much more into it. I actually didn't lose any vills, but let's continue defending. And again, I'm not doing a whole lot at the front. I'm just kind of sitting there. So right now, if you're not the most multitasking or the fastest player, what you should do is focus your attention here, but look at the minimap here. If something happens on the minimap, I'll look back. If not, I'll just keep all my focus here and try and micro this. Alright? So look at this. My eyes on the minimap. Look at my mouse. And I'm trying to defend this at home. These vills can go back to work. They're not in danger anymore. Oh, he's doing some really good micro here. Let's try and match it a little bit. Run my vills in danger back. Okay, and then at home. Okay, tower rush is still happening. Let's quickly check back. Alright, and we've dealt with him. Again, if you want to be a really fancy player, quick walls here would be great. But I'm not going to do that. No, oh, he's counter-towering me actually right now. So you know what? You know what? Castle Age seems to be out of the question. Honestly. Let's think of what I should do. Well, let's back off the stone for sure. And let's switch them to golds. You know what? Maybe I could still go for Castle Age here. And remember, after you get raided, first thing you do is check for idols. At this point, I have none. I've dealt with them all. I'm checking one more time. Oh, there's an idol. Let's deal with her. Alright, good stuff. So right now, again, there's still a threat here with the towers. So my plan now is just to continue making some skirms, keep trying to defend from this threat. I am housed here. And at the front, I'm slow pushing. No big deal here whatsoever. Okay, everything else is looking fine. I am floating some resources. You know what? I have 400 wood. Remember when I said if you're floating wood in the Feudal Age, consider a market. It's no big deal. And let's go up to Castle Age here. So I considered for a second completely canceling my Castle Age idea and making more scouts, but I realized then I don't actually need it. He's not doing a whole lot at my base, so I don't actually need to do that. With these villas, since I have no more stone, let's just take them and mine some gold. Alright, let's see what kind of damage I can find here. Let's find that. And at home, I'm gonna try and defend here. So right now, my control groups are looking at control 2 on here and control 1 on these scrims. Then I can control 2 armies at once, and that's just how I like to do it. As far as my army in Castle Age is gonna be, ooh, he's got some upgrades on the scouts. You know what? Maybe we just sit back with the skirms. My army in Castle Age, what should it be? I mean, I'm mining a lot of gold. I'm gonna go skirms and knights, but that's susceptible to light cav. This is actually a pretty tricky position. Okay, so first step is to defend. Always defend. So let's get the armor You know, let's make a few more scouts as well, because he made the stable. Maybe let's make a couple pikes as well, a few more scouts. And you know what, let's go double stable. I'm gonna go knights. Even if Koreans don't get bloodlines, it's still decent after a tower rush. In this particular position, where I've denied all his gold, it's good to go knights, because knights will be a fantastic early castle unit. Alright. Oh, gotta be careful though. He's coming in hot. Let's defend here. Okay, so as you guys can see, my micro is actually at like the intermediate level as well. I'm doing more things with my micro. I'm controlling different groups of units. The tower's up. We gotta give him space. So this is actually just a good play from him. He's taking some stuff back. He's putting me under pressure here. Alright, well we're up to Castle Age. And now the first step is to get TCs, but I don't have stone right away. Let's invest some resources into monks. And you know what? This push is still good. I still have ground here. Let's get a siege workshop to try and push my opponent. Alright, so now the first step is to deal with my, with my threats here, with his threats, which is his scouts. I'm checking the upgrades, always clicking the units. He doesn't have that many upgrades, he's missing bloodlines, so let's defend. And forging even. Let's defend with my first couple knights. I would like to defend first and then attack after. So let's defend first, and then after I'll bring my knights out here. So one knight to defend, rest can go forward. Skirms can go forward. I've got enough that the elite upgrade is way worth it. And even bot can arrow. Alright, so let's defend here with those guys. Use the market. Get maybe a TC going. Very good stuff. Okay, good. And now I've got my siege push underway. Alright, so actually, now it's kind of hard to describe what's going on because it's such a messy game. But the best way to deal with these messy games is to try and have a game plan. Always try to have a plan. So right off the bat, I know his TC's here, and I can easily mangonel down. So that's one plan for me. And I know he's got some villagers here, so maybe another plan is to run a knight in here and try and raid. Okay, so I've got two plans, and I will use the market to help me out with the resource balance. Alright, with my skirmishers, I can definitely run in and out here because I've got so much control of his base. And at home, again, just kind of protecting myself. Looking to get to my 3 TCs as well. That's definitely in the back of my mind. And let's enter here. So 2 TCs. Set up. Start booming, and the GG's called. As soon as I enter with the elite skirmisher, he calls the GG, and he just simply does not have a reaction to it. Alright, so let's quickly recap the game, because honestly, it was a very messy game, and it could have went either way. It could have went either way in the mid game, depending on who made the better decisions. And I think I just made the better decisions and had the better economy to back it up. So maybe the economy, you can say I just had really good multitasking skills. I'm really, maybe a better build builder. So maybe he wasn't using the same build builder as you can find in the Discord below. Always go check out the link. But yeah, anyways, let's go check out why we won this game by such a landslide. Even though we never really took any great fights. In fact, we even made a couple early game mistakes. Alright, so let's quickly recap here. So we both went men-at-arms, and we both decided to stay defensive, which is completely fine. But then it had me doubting, what if he's going straight archers? You guys remember that? I said, what if he's going to go straight archers? I moved out, and I ended up in a pickle position. He had skirms and men-at-arms. I only had men-at-arms. So I had to actually run back. I couldn't fight. So I was trying to do, buy time, run around, but he didn't fall for it, and he went to attack me at my base. I was then forced to take a fight, and it was not the right one. So I definitely took a bad fight, and then I had to recover. I decided to go for some skirmishers because I saw him on double range, and I thought he was going to go archers. I then saw skirmishers and decided, you know what, I should go skirmishers as well. Then I saw the 3 forward golds, and I thought, tower rush would be a good idea. I am playing as Koreans at the end of the day. So I went for a late fuel tower rush. He responded with his tower rush, but the reason his didn't work out was because mine was so quick to push him off gold that he was already trying to rebalance his economy while tower rushing. It was kind of a desperation move. So just by me having the initiative there, I was able to get the better trade of a tower war. Alright, so moving on from the towers then, we went into the mid game where he sent some archers to my base and I sent some skirms to his base. And the best way to defend, or the best way to talk about it, was I had to deal with the threat at home while keeping my attack rolling slowly. I didn't want to overcommit at either area. I want to just defend slowly, attack slowly. And that's exactly what I did. And in the end, I got both places under control. Whereas he had a good forward here. He took off, both of my stones. But at the same time, his economy fell behind, and then I was able to steamroll him in Castle Age. Alright, so I hope that was a pretty good recap. Some of the ideas we talked about in this episode that could be useful to you guys in pretty much every game would be the idea in the early game where if you're slow with your men-at-arms and you know your opponent's going men-at-arms, then just stay behind. You don't always have to attack. And then also make smart decisions and have a game plan. Even if it's going to be a small thing in the near future, it helps you so much at knowing what you should be doing and knowing what your goal is, if that makes sense. So I hope I'm being clear in my explanations here. And so the title of the episode will probably be something like, playing smart and having and formulating plans on the fly, something like that. We'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for more episodes in the series. Again, we're doing one a day from now on. My Adopt a Noob Cup is almost underway. It starts in a couple days. I'm doing it with Taro, as you guys know. So definitely check out both my Discord and his Discord. Links will be in the description. And as always, thank you for watching. Drop a comment and like the video if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.